Good afternoon, everyone. Max House, getting into another training. I hope you've been finding these important. In reality, this particular series of 2 or possibly even 3 15-minute trainings that I'm going to enter into right now, you may be listening to them and watching them at the very end of the first set of trainings that I've done. There's about 12 of those. But also, too, it's possible that this could be your very first one that you're going to watch. So I'll let you decide where you're at in that process. But I have a reason, I have a burden on my heart. And in reality, this particular little training set I'm going to do is really geared towards just a very small handful of people that are in our organization now, have been in our organization, have been through some of the processes that we're going to talk about. Because I really felt it was incumbent upon me to, you see my title here, True Confessions. So guys, I really want to really enter into a very candid, very transparent dialogue about this entire process, this whole 5x5, this journey that Wendy and I have been on since 9 years ago. And then back about 3 years ago when this whole 5x5 thing raised its head up. And I'm going to talk about all that. And there's a reason, there's a purpose. One is, we're also going to be talking about the elephant in the room. I'm sure that's a saying that you've all heard, that something is very obvious, but nobody's going to, nobody wants to be the first one to bring up the elephant that's in the room. So we're going to be talking about that. I've been telling you about a syndrome that I've really dealt with over the last, especially 3 years. And it's called Tett's syndrome. And going to have some fun with that. But my hope is that this Tett syndrome ends up being contagious for you guys. I'm going to, in the process of these true confessions and the elephant in the room and all this, I'm going to talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, the delightful, the struggles, the hopes, the dreams, all those things that many of us have been part of along this journey with Relive. Then I have a title of a song. It's one of my favorite songs by one of my favorite groups, which is Rascal Flatts. And the title of that song is God Bless the Broken Road That Led Me Straight to, and in the song it says straight to you. And it's a love song. But if you listen to the lyrics of that song, it talks about just being on a journey and you're going somewhere, and then that becomes a broken road, so you shift, you go some other route. You find another broken road, so it shifts. But God all the while is steering the process. God all the while is really steering the ship, so to speak, trying to get you ultimately, in the case of this song, to the one true love of his life through all these other relationships that prove not to be God's best. And so, like I say, I'm taking the theme of that song and weaving in a Relive story about how we've done things, and maybe we found some broken roads, or it appeared we did, and all that. So I'm going to be talking about that to really help people to understand where we're at right now today. What in the heck are we doing with this 5x5? Why have we cycled through this thing? This is our 3rd time. Why have we done that? Has this been flakiness? Has this been inconsistency? Has this been stupidity? What has this been, Max? Why have you done this now these 3 times? Well, I'm going to flip the page here shortly. I'm going to show you a timeline so that we can really talk about it. So if nothing else, at least the people in our organization, the recognized leaders in our organization, will really fully understand the process and how this thing has come down, and where we're at in this point in time, and where we're going, and why we're going there, or how we're going to get there, and how we're not going to get there. All those things that we've been talking about over this series of the last dozen or so trainings. So guys, God bless the broken road that led me straight to you, that led me straight to possibly to this strategy, this 5 by 5, this multiplication strategy that we've been talking about. God bless the broken road that led me to this season in my life. That's what I feel like. I'm entering into, Wendy and I are entering into a whole new season, guys. I'm excited. I'm excited about the new year. I'm excited about this new product X, whatever that is. I'm excited about some of the reports I've been hearing. I mean, there's some good things on the horizon, guys. And I really believe that as we pursue, those of you that choose to and want to, this 5 by 5 approach, that I've been laying out at least, that you'll find this to be a very exciting season also. And then to this vision, God bless the broken road that led us to this vision. Because I'm telling you, this is a vision. This is a thought process. It's a seed that's been planted in my heart by God, I believe. It's something that I really feel will stand the test of time because it has been planted there from a source outside of myself. I truly believe that. And I'll probably get into that a little bit on this next page. But guys, my heart is for you to really come fully into this entire process and see what has happened and why we've done the things we've done, why we haven't done certain things nearly as well as we could have done, and all that, guys, because, you know, the good and the bad and the ugly is all good stuff, really, because it is a process. It is the broken roads. It is the trials and the tribulations that bring about perseverance, like it says in the book of James. And guys, that's what I want to lay out as we flip the page to this timeline. And then I'm going to tell a story. I just consulted with this young lady this afternoon, and she said that was fine. I'm going to share what I call the Emily story, because it's really pertinent. It's kind of a cross-section of every other thought process I've had about this. And it'll all make sense in a little bit, but I was very grateful that Emily called me just about an hour ago to let me know she was really gleaning empowerment and strength and vision and all that stuff from the trainings that I've been doing. And so I got to ask her, Emily, I have this training that's been sitting on these boards now for almost 3 days, and I haven't really gone into it yet. And I said, is it okay if I tell your story? She says, absolutely, that would be perfectly fine. So I'm going to do that. So with that, guys, I'm going to shut the camera off. I'm going to flip the page, and I'm going to come back, and we're going to get involved in this whole timeline process. And I hope as I do this that you'll really begin to understand that as haphazard and as unfocused as perhaps me especially, and Wendy and I together, and some of our leaders, maybe we've looked unfocused and uncommitted, but that has not been the case, and I hope you really understand that by the time we're done. So with that, I'm going to sign off for now. I'll be back here just in a couple minutes, and we will begin to really wrap this whole series up and get on to the tools. I promised you some tools. They are coming. I have some real clear ideas about what these tools need to be that you can use to reach out to people to find your 5 and to help them to find their 5. And so that will be the next set. But I really felt I needed to do this little series first so that we can kind of put a bow on this whole thing and it'll make sense, the process we're in. Okay, guys, stay tuned.